Hello everyone, I'm James, and here's your tech news. The VR industry has been kind of quiet for a while, but that's all about to change with the Valve's new VR headset, the Valve Index. The headset brings a lot of new features to the VR industry with its larger field of view and awesome controllers. Starting with the controllers, they are touch-sensitive controllers that sense where your fingers are, allowing you to be able to move each finger individually from each other. The controller straps onto your hand, making you able to not hold onto the controller at all and it not fall off your hand. This, of course, can make VR more immersive than it already is by allowing you to interact with stuff in a more advanced way. The headset itself has good build quality and can adjust to almost any head size and shape, while also making the whole experience more user-friendly. The screen has improved and has minimized the amount of motion sickness you should feel. There are also a few downsides to the headset though, as it has a massive price tag at $1,000 and still has to be tethered to a PC. That's all I have for today, and go Tigers.
The Ironton Board of Education honored members of the Fighting Tigers football team, the $1 Million Band, Cheer, and Guard for their historic season at the December 16th, 2019 meeting. The Ironton Fighting Football Squad, aided by their coaches, earned a bid to the 48th Annual Division V State Championship game. And whereas Ironton's $1 Million Band and Color Guard supported the Tigers during their entirety of their 15-game season, and whereas the Ironton varsity and junior varsity cheer squads provided spirit and encouragement to players and fans, and whereas the community of Ironton supported our student athletes and performers through their generosity, commitment to tradition, and pride. Be it resolved that the Board of Education on this day, December 16th, 2019, congratulate the coaches, staff, sponsors, community, and especially the student participants for their respective groups for their aforementioned accomplishments. Go Tigers!
Taya Hamlet signed with Urbana University, Mary Beth Burns signed with the University of Indianapolis, and Gage Shiders is signing with Youngstown State University. On Friday the 20th, the band will be performing, and then Christmas by Candlelight with the Varsity Singers will follow after the band.
On the 14th, we have Caleb Freeman and Logan Friend. On the 15th, we have Cameron Stevens and Bryson Jewell. On the 17th, we have David Chapman, James Eastham, Ben Chapman, and Luke Linville. On the 18th, we have Jeriah Dobbs, Edie Faddis, and Lycan Sherrill. On the 19th, we have Caleb Wilson. On the 21st, we have Natalie Wiles and Xander Stager. On the 26th, we have Kylie Richendaler. On the 27th, we have Georgia Slagle. And on the 28th, we have Blake Bryce and Grace Bruce. And that's all I have for this week.
December 16th, 1773. Boston rebels dumped tea into the sea. On the 17th, 1903, the Wright brothers flew into history. On the 25th, 1991, the Soviet Union takes its dying breath. On the 29th of December, 1890, up to 300 Native Americans are killed at Wounded Knee.
On December 12th, the Arlington Girls basketball team had a game against South Point and won 41-40. On Sunday, December 22nd, the boys team will face Alexander High School. On January 3rd, they will face South Point at 7:30. On the 10th, they will also face Portsmouth at 7:30. First, the Ironton bowling team will face Colgrove at 8 a.m. and on the 28th, they will face Sutterville East at 10:30. On January 1st, they will play them again at 8 a.m. and on the 7th, they will face Colgrove at 6 p.m. and on January 10th, they will face Colgrove again.
Christmas break will start on December 23rd and ends on the 6th of January.
Christmas is a wonderful time of the year, and this is how you say Merry Christmas in Spanish. Feliz Navidad. Here are different ways to say Christmas. Yule, Yuletide, Noel, Xmas. It is a Christian festival celebrating the birth of Jesus. The earlier term Yule may have been deprived from the Germanic or Anglo-Saxon, which is referred to the feast of the winter solstice.
Mr. Sloan, what is your favorite Christmas movie or Christmas song?
Well, I'll go with a song first. I really like the song "Oh Holy Night," especially the way John Barry. He was a a country singer from back in the '90s. So, but it's the way he holds his voice and everything. It's pure. I like that version the best. I just enjoy the whole thing about Christmas: the lights, the decorations, the music, and everything about it. But it just seems like I'm always so rushed, and I never really have a chance to enjoy it before it's over. So that's my goal anyway, just to kind of relax a little bit, enjoy family, and just the feeling of the season.
Thank you, Mr. Sloan.
All right, you're welcome.
Starting on Christmas Eve, many German and British soldiers fighting in World War I sang Christmas carols to each other across the lines, and at some points the Allied soldiers even held brass bands joining the Germans in their joyous singing. At the first light of dawn on Christmas Day, some German soldiers emerged from their trenches and approached the Allied lines across no man's land, calling out Merry Christmas in their enemies' native tongues. At first, the Allied soldiers feared it was a trick, but seeing the Germans unarmed, they climbed out of the trenches and shook hands with the soldiers. The men exchanged presents of cigarettes and plum puddings, and sang carols and songs. Some Germans lit Christmas trees around the trenches, and there was even a documented case of soldiers on the opposing sides playing a good game of soccer. German Lieutenant Kurt Zeimisch recalled how marvelously wonderful, yet how strange it was. The English officer felt the same way about it. Thus, Christmas, the celebration of love, managed to bring mortal enemies together as friends for a time.
Today I'm here with Mr. Boyne. Mr. Boyne, what is your family's Christmas tradition?
Well, when the kids were little, we'd take them over to my Uncle Dwight's house, and he would dress up as Bill Schnickel, okay, and spend the day basically scaring the children. Bill Schnickel is a German character, similar to Santa Claus, only whereas Santa Claus plays on greed, you do something nice, you get good stuff, right? You're rewarded. Bill Schnickel plays on fear, and he scares the children out of doing anything bad for the next year. He carries a whip around. You can look him up, it's a real character. And so we'd spend the day doing that, so the children would go back home at the end of the day crying in tears. The wife hated it, but it was tradition. You don't mess with tradition. So every year we did that, and it really saved me a lot of money because I didn't have to buy any presents. Because fear is a much better motivator than greed. So for the next year, the kids would behave out of fear of Bill Schnickel.
Mr. Bonley said this in an interview.
You can look him up, it's a real character.
Well, we looked up Bill Schnickel, and here was some information we got about him. Bill Schnickel is a man wearing falls and sometimes a mask with a long tongue. He is typically very ragged and disheveled. He wears torn, tattered, and dirty clothes, and he carries a switch in his hand in which he beats naughty children, but also pockets full of cakes, candies, and nuts for good children. He was known as Kris Kringle, Bill Schnickel, and sometimes as the Christmas woman. Children then not only saw the mysterious person, but felt him, or rather his stripes upon their backs, with his switch.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. Go home.